This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and here we are, end of August. We got a lot going on in the baseball season. Football season's upon us, and breaking news is on the basketball court. Big trade by the Celtics last night.
Yeah, huge trade. I mean, a huge splash.
Big one.
Kind of came out of nowhere,
right.
I thought. I mean, what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, obviously, for those who aren't completely up on it, the Celtics give up Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, and the Brooklyn Nets pick for next year, and they get back Kyrie Irving in the deal, so a big deal. And I think it's a good deal. I really was on... You know, I'm not against Isaiah Thomas. I think he's a good player. I think he's a scorer, and that's what the Celtics liked and they need, but I just wasn't sure if they would be able to offer him the max contract, and it seems like that's what he wants.
Yep.
So now you don't have to make that decision, and you get Kyrie Irving, who still has a couple years on his deal. So over on the surface, before we dig into it, I like it.
Yeah, you know, when I first saw this trade, I really thought the Celtics gave up a ton.
Right.
And they did.
They did.
But when you look at it, it's kind of, I think it's a good deal for the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas really had one more year left on his contract.
Right.
So he's a one-year rental.
Right.
Kyrie Irving has 2 and a player option, which he'll probably opt out of, but 2 years of Kyrie Irving. And then you think about it, Jay Crowder, I mean, you know, he's a good player.
Right.
He's got a good contract, but, you know, I think that's a good piece to give up.
Yep.
And then Zizic, 7-footer. I mean, he's a rookie. They drafted him last season, and he was playing over in Europe.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Celtics kind of needed a big guy. But, again, that's not a huge piece to give away. But the Brooklyn Nets first-round pick, that could be a top 5 pick, maybe even the number 1 overall pick. So that was really the big kicker in this deal. But to me, like you were saying with Isaiah Thomas, it was going to be a tough decision if they were going to sign him to a max deal.
Right.
I mean, a player who just really cannot play any defense. I mean, with his size, you know, he does what he can. He's a great offensive player, but on the defensive side, he's just not there.
Right.
I mean, they would take him out when they had to play, when they had a big defensive
at
possession.
the end of the game.
They would take him out. And so in Kyrie, you get a proven superstar. He's been able to make big shots in big situations. I think it's a good deal for the Celtics. I think it's a good deal for the Cavs. Both teams get what they wanted. The Cavs get to solidify a little bit of their future post-LeBron. But really, I think the Celtics now with Kyrie, with Gordon Hayward, Al Horford.
Yep.
I mean, this is a good team. And are they better than the Cavs?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big debate. Did this move actually make the Celtics better?
Right.
And, you know, like you said, a couple of the things, you know, some of the haters will say, okay, well, Isaiah Thomas is beloved by the city. He really endeared himself to the city because he played so hard, and he was a good guy, and the city did love him. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. If you take the emotion out of it, I mean, he was a good player. There's no questioning. But is he on the level of Kyrie Irving? Yeah. I don't think so. The other thing is, could they have re-signed him? I don't think they really wanted to get that decision because I don't think they wanted to give him a max contract, but then if you don't give him a max contract, you look like bad guys. Yeah. And so they kind of kicked that one off. Now they don't have to make that decision. And the other thing about that Brooklyn pick next year, they've got a lot of players on this team. I mean, they've got, don't forget, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, obviously Horford, Hayward. So, I mean, they get another superstar maybe next year, but how many years does it take for him to develop?
Right.
So you're kind of looking at it like, okay, and everyone who's bagging on Ainge for not making trades for Jimmy Butler or for getting Paul George, now they make the trade, now everyone's saying, well, they gave up too much. But you can't have it both ways. You got to give up good players in the NBA to get a good player. I like it. Yep. The question is, how much better does it make them? I guess we'll see that this season.
Yeah, you know, I think the Celtics still need, like they did last season, a big man. That was kind of a Zizic role, but obviously he's gone now. So they need another big man who can rebound next to Horford. But, I mean, I think this deal does make them better. They get a superstar player who's been able to perform at the highest levels.
Right.
And Danny Ainge is really saying, okay, we're going all in right now, this year, next year. You know, kind of a couple of 2 or 3 year window probably right now. And Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are going to be huge. I think Tatum could be Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's looked that good in the summer league. Yep. So I like the move. I think they really needed another superstar player. And he's more versatile. They're similar players. I think Kyrie does struggle a little bit defensively, but offensively, I think he's one of the best.
Yeah, and he's more diverse on the offensive side. And you got Al Horford's only got a couple years left before he opts out. Yep. So now you got this package together for the next couple years. But nothing else. It's going to make some good storylines opening night when the Celtics and Cavs play. And then if they get to the playoffs and face each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, that'll be exciting. So lots to talk about in the offseason before the season starts for basketball. When we come back, after we take a break, we'll get into the season that is, and that is the Red Sox off a big win last night. We'll take a break. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.